All right, we got a lot going on this morning. You can see that a lot of stuff is up in the pre-market here. We've got the SPY is up a significant amount in the pre-market, up almost 3%. But you know what? I don't trust this rally, not quite yet. I'm thinking it's going to be a bounce that resolves to a lower high. Why do I think that? All right, well, let's go to Unusual Whales. They release all this news right away. U.S. bans U.S. bans personnel in China from romantic relations with Chinese citizens. That is an escalation. You also see here that 38 minutes ago, Zelensky says that they found themselves fighting some Chinese soldiers in Ukraine, saying that China has joined that war in Ukraine. So if true, I'm not saying that is true, but if true, that's a big escalation. And then we also got Treasury Secretary Bessent, basically escalating, saying China made a big mistake and they're playing a losing hand. Um, Interesting. So the trade war is not off. So a bounce of 3% this morning doesn't make any sense. Now, when the trade war does end, it will be dramatic to the upside, and I'm going to show you why that is going to be dramatic to the upside. Let's go to yesterday. Here we go. SPY right here. Right here. Yesterday morning, this little candle right here that was up. How much was it up? That did 4%. A 4% move on the SPY in less than 5 minutes was when that 90-day pause rumor came out. Okay. There's a rumor that came out yesterday at just about 7:10 a.m. that West Coast time, 7:10 a.m. West Coast time, that said that the president had decided to do a 90-day pause on tariffs, and the market ripped 4%, okay, in less than 5 minutes. So when this is done, we're going to get a crazy rally. Okay, we're going to get an insane rally when this thing is done. And the news that I'm seeing right now says that it isn't done. So I don't trust this rally, and that is why. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. So this is also interesting. Apple plans to shift iPhone production to India. I have actually been buying into India. And if you're interested in India, we can go here, INDY. This is an ETF that does the top 50 um, companies in India. Okay. It's about what, 48 bucks, 48, $50. It is on a low, right? It came to a low. We made a higher high than this section over here. Let me draw it. We made a higher high than this section over here, and we have resolved to a higher low, which makes this a higher high, higher low pattern as of right now. The next time we get a high, it needs to cross 51.44 to continue the pattern, but this did a breakout and a retest of this trend line, and it is bouncing off of that trend line. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. We get above this line right here, which is 49.15. Once we're above that, well, actually, I might want to raise that a tiny bit. I think I missed the mark on that a little bit. Here, let me fix that. Once we get above the body of this big red candle here from April 4th, well, then we're on our way to filling this gap, which would be all the way to $50. I mean, it's only a $1 move, but that is telling us that we're on our way. All right, let me turn on some indicators here and see what they say about India. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some indicators up. So the BX trender on the daily is not looking great. Okay, I would want to see this getting better right here, and you can see the volume right here. This volume oscillator is gray and shrinking, so that's also not great. So I don't know if I'd buy it right now. I do like the technical setup, but I don't like the technicals. All right, you can see the BX trender deeper red. The volume is weakening. The MACD crossed down and is pointing straight down, so that's not great. We don't really want to see that. Let's take a look at the moving averages real quick. Let's see. I don't want VWAP. I want this one. And I want this one. Okay. So we can see here that we got the 9 EMA about to cross beneath the 50 and the 21 already converging with the 50. So we would really want to get above the 50-day moving average. Even if we get above this orange line here at $49-ish, we're going to pop up maybe to 50, maybe to 51, and then we'll find struggle there as well. Do I have my volume profile on here? Volume profile, I do not. Let's see. Volume profile. Bring that one in. Yeah, so the volume profile, we came right on to equilibrium for that, so that's a good sign. So even if we were to come down, I wouldn't expect us, as long as we don't sweep that low here at 47, I wouldn't expect it to be like a dramatic sell-off again, especially if production for American companies is shifting over to India from China. That's going to be a pretty big deal for India. I'm sounding very different now because I just realized I was on the wrong microphone. So I apologize for that. You can see here, look at this, extended hours warrants. So CleanSpark up 3.3%, CleanSpark warrants up 18.9%. Now, I will say, I know that there's probably some new investors that are potentially watching. If so, be careful with some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about, like Bitcoin, anything Bitcoin or Bitcoin miners related. Those are going to be very, very, very volatile. And this is such a time that those types of investments can, they can go up 200%, but they can also drop you by 70, 80, even 100%. So be very careful with these types of investments right now. It's time to take risk very seriously at this time. I wouldn't just go YOLOing all my money into anything. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. I am simply urging caution with assets that are, very volatile. All right. So currently Bitcoin, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is holding the area here, right? It swept the lows, but it was on a wick, just a wick boom, took out, liquidated the longs, and then came right back up to the baseline. I wouldn't be surprised to see it wick down here again into the low 70s, but I really want to see it break this hard right edge, right? This descending channel. Once it breaks out of this descending channel, game is on for Bitcoin, and we are going much, much higher very, very quickly. A lot of people are calling for May for that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do think that a lot of this is related to, I heard a theory about the trade war that's very interesting. Basically, it comes down to the White House wanting lower interest rates. And how do you get lower interest rates? Well, they did a lot of firing and they are now crashing the stock market. And you get those two things. Those are the two winning combinations to get Jay Powell to say, okay, we can cut rates now. And once he cuts rates, we may see a softening of the trade war and we will see an explosion in equities and assets and risk on assets. So we're going to watch for that. Pre-market for Soxel, 13%, 5% for NVIDIA. I'm going to have to get off of here as soon as 6:30 comes around because I got some cash secured puts to close out of here on NVIDIA. I should be getting 100% on that from yesterday, so that's pretty cool. Very, very good here. Look at the semiconductors finally coming back here. Tesla up this morning, Apple up this morning, everything kind of moving up this morning. But again, I'm going to continue to say I don't trust it at this time because the trade war is not over. What else would I be looking at right now? I like JEPQ right now at these prices. It came down way, way, way low. I bought up. I took 10% of my available cash and I bought JEPQ yesterday on the lows. I'm up handsomely from that. I'm waiting for it to come right back down, maybe test this area again, and then I'll be deploying another, 15 to 20% of my cash into JEPQ again. JEPQ is a covered call fund from JP Morgan. What they do is they buy the QQQ and then they sell covered calls on it, at the money covered calls on it, and generate about an 11-ish or so % dividend, plus capture a majority of the upside of the QQQ. So if you can look here from this low here from December 22, right? The low, boom, to the high, it captured, 46% plus that 10, 11% per year on the dividend. So versus QQQ, let's look at QQQ in the same time period. So remember, 46.5% in QQQ did more. QQQ definitely did more. Let's see here. We want December 2022. It's back there. Okay. And we went from about somewhere in here, this little island right there. And meanwhile, QQQ did about twice that. So why do I like JEPQ? Just because it's a nice dividend fund and I'm building that up for, that's my retirement account build. You can see I got about half of that, but that is also almost 3 years worth of dividends. So you can add 30% on top of that 46%. So you'd be looking at about a 76%, which you're not capturing the entirety of QQQ in it, but that's the price you pay for that income that comes through JEPQ. Okay, you put that on a drip and it just grows and grows and grows, and I like that. It's not for everyone, but I like it. Anyways, that's all I think I've got for you today. Bitcoin, holding strong, the market bouncing, but in a suspicious way because the trade war is definitely not off. It is definitely still heating up at this time. So be careful out there. Take caution. I would say caution. I caution. So pay attention out there. Protect yourself. Protect your gains. Protect your portfolios. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store. Link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.